Yeah, I mean, while we're loading into this one, Blue, you got any players from Mindfreak that you're looking to kind of step it up and bring it to immunity?
Deano.
Deano?
Deano promised me Needler kills today. He promised me them aplenty, and I still haven't seen one from him. Recharge is a map. The Needler is right there. It's there for the picking, the taking. So I want to see the man, the myth, the legend himself put it to use.
Now, on board with Benjy moving through. I love this position here. He's very vulnerable but can get some shots down, putting so much pressure on the ads there, backing him off. And a little bit of a bait and switch. Dante being very bold with this early B capture, but he has got that camo. Team Immunity straight out of the rip with that trip cap. They're going to be flooding points into their scoreline. That's what you want to see. But look at that. Benjy spotted out Dante with that camo. Nice double kill for him. And now
month of playtime now. Definitely one of the strongest young players we have in the region. Cross-mapping right now, spots Benno, comes face-to-face to Ads. Unfortunately, Ads is the one who takes him down. Deano looking to clean up Ads as well, but now he's faced with two. Looking to go top elevator now, maybe secure himself a kill, but does unfortunately get taken down.
It's a hard situation. You have two players from Immunity rushing up those stairs. He tuck tail and run. And now with Ads from Team Immunity hanging out in the elevator, he jumps up, and I like this. He's just locking down the A stronghold. Immunity, they've got a little bit of a head start here. Perfectly placed grenade. He didn't know that Junior was there, but he just ran away. He was like, nope, not going in there. And turn around and say, Ads, he's not doing a lot on the map in terms of action, but just holding down that corner of the map. And it's all about your role that you are playing within your team.
Sight lines, information, getting enough damage out is all too important, especially on a map like Recharge. So many close-knit corridors that you can get caught off by, just unfortunately Ads did there by Junior. Nades come out from Junior as he's looking to capture A, so they can go for that A and B hold, get some time ticking on the board. Team Immunity, during that engagement that we just had near top elevator, was ticking up time themselves. 3 members for Immunity go down right now. Junior looking to just plink those nades, try and get some damage in. He got enough to scare off the player of Team Immunity. Junior doing a lot of work, just creating as much space as possible. Takes on Benno right now. Good use of the repulsor, but unfortunately falls to it. Dante comes into scrap, takes the camo himself, but gets felled as
Hasn't been used yet, Bill.
No, still on the field as Ninjestics slides in, looking to pick it up.
Yeah, look at him cherry picking, you know, the scraps on the ground. Everybody wanted that camo. Ninjestics comes in after the fight and scoops it. I'll take that, thank you very much. But now, on board with Benjy from Mindfreak, moving through the red pipes. Easy cleanup kill onto Heff as they move to push into the A stronghold. Now, Ninjestics in a 1v1 versus Benno, showing him what's what. Now, still with plenty of camo to use, and right on the precipice of this C stronghold here. Mindfreak doing very well, holding that trip cabin, and now they've taken the lead.
Ninjestics is one of those players that I really enjoy watching. He tends to be able to switch up his playstyle from super aggressive to, as soon as he gets something like camo in the back pocket, he's just using it very passively, trying to get as much information out on the map and as much damage as possible before he sort of backs off. And I love what he's doing here. There's no aggression to it. He's just holding down the sight hide, holding down the lane, making sure that Team Immunity has to make the rotation themselves. Junior in the background getting a remote detonation for himself as Benno and Dante go down for Team Immunity.
A Team Immunity, we're talking about how good they can stay composed in a map, but currently they're getting trip capped on. They're almost down 100 points. If anyone's going to be able to flip that script, it is Team Immunity, but they don't want to wait too long.
But Mindfreak just playing a very dominant game. You know, they're playing a little bit more subdued than I think we saw them trying to do in the first series. But it's working out well for them. You know, Reese, Ninjestics here, just playing for his life so much. If he manages to get away, that's huge, with Ads chasing him down as much as possible. The nade inflicts damage, not enough to kill him. Absolutely one shot, and he gets the support from his teammate there on control stairs. A collapse right now on C, but it's a trade out with Ads. Lots of damage going back and forth, but once again, Team Immunity 2 members down.
I love that play from Ninjestics there. The fact that Ads was pushing and he's like, you know what, I don't need to win this fight. We've got the trip cap. I can just back off a little bit, wait for my health to arrive, and then we'll just clear him out and get the reset. So Heads up play from Ninjestics there. Junior with the double kill there with that shock rifle showing up through squad. That scoreline is quickly ticking down to the 250 mark. Mindfreak looking very strong. Junior trying to connect there, but gets away with his life. And another triple cap. Team Immunity, what's going on, boys?
Triple cap for Mindfreak, unless Team Immunity can work very quick-footed right now. Looks to be said and done for the first game here. Strongholds on recharge. 4 seconds, 3 seconds left to go, and it looks like in the blink of an eye it may already be gone. A is touched from Benno. A decisive fight, but it's a trade out, and that's it. Game 1 is already done.
Blue, I saw that 249 stuff, and I was like,
there's no way.
There's no way. There's no way. But it does look like Mindfreak, they're able to close that one out, and after going down 0-3 versus the Chiefs, they must be feeling good at managing to grab themselves a decisive victory on map 1. That's got to help their confidence.
From the get-go, Mindfreak was a little bit different than what we saw in the first game. It seems like maybe in the time that they've had to break and sort of look at the mistakes that they made previously when they opened this series, they just became a lot more composed with themselves and themselves as a team. You could see how well they were rotating one another. I love that play that Reese did on Ninjestics again, very early on C plat, where he just had camo, and even when he lost that camo, he stayed there the whole time. He made sure that at no point Team Immunity pushed through C Hall, and he was alive for the longest time possible.
And that was a really short game for Louis. I was looking at the damage stats and I was like, 2k damage, oh, that's a pretty poor performance. And then I looked at all of them and they're all around 2k, and it's like, that game went for like 2 minutes, but it was all Mindfreak. That trip cap was just held for so long, and Team Immunity, they should know. It's like you're getting trip capped on, you've got to wait for everyone to be up, you got to get a pick, you got to grab one of the neutral strongholds, maybe C, maybe A, not going for the B stronghold, you're never going to get it, you're just going to get naded out.
A couple of mistakes there just seem to be Team Immunity's undoing, but at the end of the day, we talked about them so much before and how much experience they have. I know, disgusting from Junior. And they're so capable of turning this around. You know, they're down a map right now, but again, Justin, think about it. How many times have they been here before? Not only in Halo Infinite, but in, God knows, any other Halo game. How many times have they been in this position?
Yeah, I think that Team Immunity's biggest strength is their ability to just brush things off. Do you think, you know, Benno's sitting there going, oh man, can't believe we lost that first map. I'm so nervous, like we're on main stage. And he's like, oh yeah, boys,
I'm going to be honest,
tough luck.
Looking at Taj right now, I don't think he would let that happen. That man has the shout of a Thor at them if he feels the slightest
What are you
quiver.
doing, boys? And he's like, grabs them, gives them a little head rub. Come on, get into it.
Yeah, there's just no way. You know, we speak all the time whenever we see Team Immunity play about how much composure they have, and we've seen it firsthand, how able they are to bounce back from situations like this. It's only a hope, you know, because if they don't, I think I'll be able to hear Inman crying off in the distance if Team Immunity unfortunately falls here.
The sound of tiny violins. But I mean, we talk about Immunity's strength being their composure and their consistency, but maybe they're just not able to pop off at the same extent that some of the Mindfreak guys are. I mean, Deano could just go off at any time, Junior as well, and I mean, Benjy's a wild card and you don't know what to expect from him sometimes. So maybe that's the missing link for the Team Immunity guys. They don't really have that super hyped up, red-blooded player that just kind of goes off.
You know, we see someone like Benno is very often to create those breaks where he just goes on these massive killing sprees, creating as much space as possible for the rest of his team to break through. But I feel like that kind of aggression is few and far between, whereas a team like Mindfreak has the potential with every player in their roster to just do that time and time again, one after another. And I think especially in Halo Infinite, with how much pace setting that you need to do for your team and everyone else on board, they have the star power to do that. Immunity are just a lot more passive, a lot more controlled, very old school style of approaching Halo.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at all the highlights from someone like Benno, right, it's not a lot of, you know, flashy no-scope plays and that kind of thing. It's just good positioning, nice clean-up double kill, rotating around, putting himself in a strong position, not taking fights he has no business taking and backing off when he needs to. And that's why his stats are always so good and he's so consistent, because he's thinking about the end game, not going for clips for his Twitter impressions.
There have been a couple of upsets though, especially recently with Team Immunity. That game in the last Pro Series that we had, where unfortunately they fell to Kit Bash. Team Immunity looked like the stronger team. They outstatted KotH by an absolute landslide, but it was just the macro game they felt short of, right? They weren't focusing on objectives to, enough in those exchanges that they had where they get 4 members down. In that particular scenario, KotH had enough to sort of just come back and take the reins from them and look at the objective and how they need to play. That being said, we've seen Team Immunity's scoreline and how bloated out, especially the Slayers have been time after time. We have a Slayer coming up next on Live Fire.
Yeah, it's certainly a good time to step it up a little bit, take that objective, kind of get me up to speed, and I've got to try and learn something. And it's amazing when you listen to these guys and their knowledge of Halo is just so deep. And once you get them going, like, oh my God, you really know everything about this game, backwards, forwards, front to back, doesn't matter, they know it.
Hopefully now, Justin, these players can put a bit of that knowledge into show for us as we are looking like we're getting into this live fire game. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I can see that the players are ready to go.
And it looks like they're all getting set up for this overshield to pop. It's going to come up in roughly 10 seconds. Everyone getting ready. Looks like Benno wants to be the one there. But it's almost a very vulnerable position when you look at all the players going there. There's that needler you keep going on about. Bluey, I know you want Deano to grab that one. Ninjestics coming in. He's got that snipe. And I like that he looked at the overshield there and he's
yes.
like, my shields are flashing, I'm probably going to go down, but I might get a cheeky kill here.
If I can secure that OS kill before any player pops it, it's going to be massive for me. I definitely agree. He does unfortunately fall there, leading the push more so in Team Immunity's favor. I believe they probably captured OS there. You have 3 players unfortunately collapse on poor Ninjestics in that moment, looking up near a window. Heff right now playing sneaky, picks up 2 sticky grenades. They're probably going to be volleyed out as he tries to just secure himself some space. Spotters Jr. out of roots and gets the kill, but does immediately get taken out himself. 3 members of Team Immunity down.
That was really unfortunate from Heff. He had a 2-shot advantage and he just got turned on there. Now with Ninjestics, I like those nice steady BR shots there. He does get called out, opting not to challenge that. He's just locking down that position. That C boxes area is just so powerful, and you're just going to make sure you stay alive, keep applying that pressure. Dante going in, using his cover well. He eventually does get taken out. Perfect shots from Ads there. Throws out a grenade. I reckon he almost fastballed him there. If that was a sticky, it would have stayed on, I reckon.
We do see kill for kill, blow for blow being exchanged right now. Typically the narrative that we see in these Slayer games. And unfortunately, we haven't seen too many kills with the sniper ring out, which is the true difference maker, especially as they tend to be absolute killers. That quick shot to the head is going to be the difference maker. We do see Benjy with it right now. 3 bullets, I should say, loaded in. He's got plenty to play with, but he does get back smacked as Heff was just cheekily sitting around the corner waiting for him.
Cheeky little bugger hiding around the corner there. Gets a nice backpack too. He had the snipe and Junior had the overshield there, and Heff able to steal away a kill there. Heads up play from him. Dante trying his best to melt down that overshield. And look at that, Junior running away once again, valuing his life. Benjy comes in with the cleanup, taking him out. Now rotating through. Benno around the corner there, able to clean him up. And Heff with the backup as well. And there's Ads. Team Immunity seem to be playing around each other very well, but they're all fallen. Ads last one alive.
There's a lot of pairings happening right now across this map. There's not a lot of single people pushes or single rotations, which is good because you don't want to get caught out in those positions. But unfortunately, what we're leaning on right now is just who has the better gun, who is going to shoot better in these particular instances. It's so hard to tell who's going to be the top fragger right now on this roster because of how close-knit the game is. You have, unfortunately, Junior on Mindfreak's side, falling a little bit by the wayside. But that being said, 3 kills, 6 assists to his name, make that 4 kills as he picks up another right before our very eyes. So he's still putting in the damage, he's still putting in the work for his team.
You know what it could be, Blue? I've noticed Junior, he's been taking fights, and as soon as he goes, you know what, it's not a sure thing that I'm going to win this, he backs off, and then someone else gets a cleanup. So maybe that's why his assists are so high, because he's not securing all of those kills for himself. But now with Dante going 5-4 with 6 assists right now, while I'm looking at the scoreboard, Heff top fragging at the moment, first to the double-digit club, and he's not usually the person you look to drop big slays.
No, we said that in the last Pro Series though, where Heff for some reason just turned something on. He flicked a switch and he was able to just play completely out of his mind. Like you said, Justin, he's not typically the player on the Team Immunity roster that we see do this, but now, for some reason, I think he might have taken that loss, a bit too close to heart, and now he just wants to play as fast as he can.
We're getting rowdy here in the arena. The Mindfreaks guys getting certainly hyped up quite a lot. Still with Dante though, but Deano grabbing that fresh overshield and gets away with it clean as well, Bluey. So it means that he's going to be able to make coordinator play with his teammates, make a big collapse, and here it comes. And he's got his teammates there. Dante running for his life. He goes down, and they're looking for those players that... Immunity players are just falling by the wayside. And Deano, he's not really getting shot either. He's got loads of overshield left. He hasn't been melted down, so he can just keep pushing with confidence.
That overshield, the only victim of it right now is Time, as it manages to whittle its way down, but Ads does catch him on the back foot, picks up scoreboard side, does take him down then. All that overshield gone and melted. Not really much use that was made there for it, unfortunately. Through all that engagement though, Mindfreak only up 2 kills, so Team Immunity is still swinging back as much as they need to.
Yeah, and you know what? Team Unity did so well to make sure that they couldn't utilize that OS. Yes, they weren't able to shut him down, but they were rotated away. It's like, OS player is pushing us. We need to buy time. Let's rotate through A, get a couple of picks and just, melt him down a little bit. It seems to be paying dividends because there are only 2 kills the difference right now. And Ninjestics challenging able to get the double kill out BR. Fantastic stuff from Ninjestics from Mindfreak.
Ninjestics, the man himself, gets away with it. Another kill in tow, bleeding out that scoreline ever more. Flanking Ads right now, deflecting that nade away from him, not taking any damage as Deano follows it up from the top scoreboard jump. We do see Team Immunity members right now spawning back mud, I believe, rotating C-plat on the tower. That overshield is about halfway up, only a couple seconds to go, and that looks like where the next fight is going to be commencing.
It looks like Ninjestics is taking the pace out of his gameplay a little bit here. He's kind of just holding down a spot, waiting for his next victim to go past that S7 sniper rifle. The montage maker is about to pop. That could be key for Team Immunity if they want to get back into this game. Ads caught off guard there. Ninjestics being such an annoying little bugger, moving around the map and just making himself a hard kill. But Benno, with the crispy shots, finally shuts him down.
Deano looking to give the support. Unfortunately, a couple seconds too late. Would have been able to save. Ninjestics there, just taking shots all around. Junior manages to sneak his way through scoreboard door there. Captures OS through all of that. Only has a slither of it left. Looking to take on Benno on a 1v1. Gets repulsed to the back wall and does get picked off himself. Mindfreak now up 5 kills. Only 5 kills left for Mindfreak to secure this game, going up 2 in the series.
I certainly think that Team Immunity could do it if they wanted to. Ads finding a lot of players, wisely not pushing too hard. And look at that, the Mindfreak guys opting to rotate away from Ads. Could that come back to bite them? They kind of needed to clear him out. Nice little body shot there, does get the double kill as well. Ads is Mads going off, Bluey.
2 more kills left for Mindfreak to collect to take this map as well. Going up 2 against Team Immunity. Team Immunity right now on the back foot. Only 4 kills left for them to go as the game slows down. Slight crawl picking back up as Team Immunity spawns around back B bend. The team shots are going to ring out true. Deano picking himself up Heff. Dante choosing to peek as well. Benno located around B bend and it does get collected. Mindfreak going up 2 maps against Team Immunity.
Oh man. You see Mantis up there, he's just dagger eyes across stage, and the Team Immunity guys didn't even look up.
From the sounds of it, it invoked a bit of fear in you as well, Justin. I think you took more of the heat than
there's some scary people around here, man. I'm just, I'm not a tough guy. I got a floral shirt on. I can't throw down. So I see him, I was like, oh god, I'm glad I'm casting and not up there on the main stage.
Bringing you back to the days on the Osprey team, when cop a little bit of beer.
I've spent so many Sunday mornings signing up to cups, getting
absolutely bodied.
bottom seed going up against Immunity top seed, and it's like you warm up, you scrim, all that kind of stuff, and then you just get 3-0'd straight in the elimination bracket by Team Immunity. So yeah, they're a little bit intimidating. All right, I got PTSD about it.
Well done for Mindfreak there. That game, honestly, for a Slayer game, was so fast paced all around. It felt like from the first kill, the game didn't really stop, only slowing down in sort of small increments, but then just bleeding out so far past than what it was worth. Unfortunately, it just felt like time and time again. Particularly, I want to say that Team Immunity just seemed to be getting flanked. There were so many flanks being made by Mindfreak, from Ninjestics, from Benjy, and then they would get flanked, turn, get enough damage on there, but then Benjy and Ninjestics just sort of run away with their lives and be able to peek back, get something for themselves. This play in particular, Ninjestics was sitting rat's nest for so long, so weak, one shot the whole time, not called out, peeks out B bend, and then just gets that beautiful double.
I mean, not calling out weak players and getting those critical kills and allowing Ninjestics to do stuff like that. I mean, that's not really the team immunity that we know, right?
No, absolutely not.
You know, team shotting and responding to call-outs and stuff like that, that's just, you know, that's some of the bread and butter of Halo. So team immunity, it's quite strange to see them struggling a little bit in that department.
No, I definitely agree. You know, we talked so much about them before, gassed them up in a sense that, yeah, they've been in this position before. You know, they've come back from it. They still certainly have it in them to do that again now, but it could just be the effect of, hey, we're playing on LAN right now. Like, all the boys are here together, but then we're facing a group of guys who are so strong, so confident in their ability in Halo Infinite. Can we really match up to that? Do we really have the ability to take the pace away from them, make each game our own? Looking at the way that Team Immunity is playing right now, they're going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat and make some magic happen, because they're just bleeding over and over again. And honestly, it's quite devastating to see.
Yeah, at the risk of talking about the fact that Momentum was on immunity at some point again, I know he's banging on about now, we're going to talk about it. Can they bring it back? 2018 Sydney World Qualifiers, Team Immunity was down against Authority, and Authority was on the precipice, you know, just about to win that series. And then Momentum, and I'm paraphrasing here, he goes, yeah, and then Benno just turned to us and said, all right, boys, let's bring it back. Just like deadpan. And then they came back and they won that series and qualified for Worlds. So if they've got it in them, we've seen them do it before on LAN, maybe they can do it again.
I don't know, man. Looking at Benjy right now, the stats speak for themselves. 90 kills. He's 10 kills away from 100 bomb across the series. His accuracy as well on point. We've seen how well this kid is shooting. He's a young gun. He's a young calf. He's got so much in him. You know, he's the star power for this team. And, you know, so many people before, especially when he first came into the Halo Infinite competitive scene, were saying, man, look at this kid. Like, look how much potential he has. And he was bounced around so many teams for so long, but now it just really feels like he's got a home. He's got a supportive, you know, group of players around him to make sure that he's just constantly able to push over and over again. There's no backing down from any of the fights that he takes.
Well, it's interesting when you had the launch of Halo Infinite and the HCS roadmap. It was very attractive for players from other games, and we had quite a lot of Call of Duty players come in and form teams and that kind of thing, and they did pretty well. But it is a very different game, and I think when you take someone that's got a little bit of a different play style from an experience, like, you know, Benjy or, you know, Sways or Lolly or Plasma or something like that, and you can put them together with some classic Halo players, they can kind of play around that player and set them up and go, hey, listen, Benjy, we'll cover all the fundamentals and we'll just wind you up like a Beyblade and let you rip.
It's just getting them into this position, right, where they feel comfortable. If you have a comfortable Halo player, that's a dangerous Halo player. We talk so much about Barcode. I mean, right, we've talked him to death even today, but it was the fact that what truly made him scary is in every game that he went in, he was comfortable and he was confident. So if you can start building up that confidence in these other players that we have in the region, they're going to grow just as strong. They're going to give it their all just as much as he did and propel themselves even further, especially against these teams that they so commonly have to scrim against or play against in LAN environments like this. They only get better and better over time. Yes, it might take some, you know, some roster shuffles and some mixing and matching here and there, but what do you say, Justin? Do you think the Mindfreak that we're looking right now is at their absolute peak sort of potential? Do you think that they can go further than how they're performing at the moment?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, on the prediction lists, I had them at second place because I believe that they would be able to do it. So they have the potential to take this thing all the way. Yes, Chiefs kind of put them in their place a little bit. They had a little bit to prove though, so they were ice cold on that one. And it's like they were like, we don't care that it's pool play. We're gonna lights out you guys and prove to everyone that they're the best here. But now Mindfreak, they're bouncing back after that and now doing the same to Team Immunity.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go as we dive into map number 3, King of the Hill on Streets. It's going to get frantic, it's going to get sweaty, it's going to get a little bit chaotic, but don't worry, we're here to guide you through this as we pan right now through the beautiful neon-bathed streets that we are going to be taking place on right now. Justin, we got a game 3 on our hands. If Mindfreak take this one, Immunity, unfortunately, a little bit down on the wayside. So how do you think this one is going to roll?
Oh, listen, I reckon Team Immunity's going to bring it back, but we are starting things up with Junior. He grabs that Bulldog on his way past, able to get that trade there onto Heff, and now grabbing that Stalker Rifle as well, but the call-out does come in. Benno, easy clean up for him, but Deano, he's got 2 rockets to play with. You know he's looking for that play. The rocket goes underneath his feet, able to get the trade, but that's not what you want when you got those in your pocket.
The running narrative of ANZ players not being able to use rockets has been a bit of an unfortunate one that we've witnessed today, but you know...
And it's always on street.
I know, it always happens. It's the hills, man. It just catches our players off guard. Unfortunately, not much hill time has been captured right now. Most of it going on the wayside of Mindfreak. That being said, it's only about a fingernail's worth of time. 3 players right now positioned in and around it as Ties is taken hold of. Benjy unfortunately does go down. Junior thrusts his way out as he is one shot, but he's assuredly going to be chased as Dante cleans him up. Deano taking a kill in Ties as Ninjestics challenges Benno as well. Right now, 2 members of Mindfreak are down.
Yes, and this A area of the map, you kind of need to clear through it very quickly because there's a lot of sight lines to that area. Ninjestics hanging around a little bit too long. Now Dante in the hill right now, racking up a little bit of time, but a lot of his teammates are falling, doing his best to stay alive. I don't think anyone's going to find him in that little corner. Pops out just to respond to that call out on Junior, but Benno able to shut him down. Now jumping up into the Tides area, putting some pressure on, does cop a couple of grenades, and it does look like all the players are trying to do the right things. They're putting themselves in good positions, and both teams are back and forth. Right?
Those team rotations that we just saw there, like the bait and switches coming out from Team Immunity, is exactly the kind of gunning that I would expect to see from them. In that particular instance, you know, it was a matter of seconds before 3 members of Mindfreak did go down. They do sort of get that reversed on them themselves as Mindfreak are now the ones in control of the hill, about to tie this first point up. Benjy in control of the rockets, does shoot off one there. Believe he still has one in the back pockets. That's very dangerous, but Benno seemingly killing him off screen there as Benjy goes down. So now Mindfreak are going to be the ones on the back foot, looking like they're going to be able to cap this this first hill as Heff gets taken out himself.
What's very interesting, Glue, is that Mindfreak secures the first hill, but the goose is loose. Ninjestics is yet to put one on the board. Captain Donut right now, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the boys are making things happen.
I don't think we really need to jinx it so far because it is a King of the Hill game. There is plenty of time for these boys to work with, and especially with how strong Mindfreak's team shots have been in, I don't think it's going to be all too hard for. Yep, there you go. Ninjestics to get a kill. So many kills, though, on the other hand, coming out from Team Immunity. There's a very consistent pattern, you know, 6, 6, 5. Unfortunately, Heff trailing a little bit behind right now. 1 and 7 does get taken out again. Dante as well. So there just seems to be a lot of scrappy damage going back and forth between these 2 teams right now. And Mindfreak seem to be the ones who are able to just pick off those kills when necessary.
Yeah, so much control. I mean, that's why I highlighted the fact that Ninjestics hadn't got any kills yet, but still they managed to get the hill. And he's concentrated not on the fact that he hadn't gotten a kill yet. He's making the right rotations and working with his teammates, right? So doing all the right things, and that's what matters. Look at the scoreboard; they're up.
Hill Guardian medal for Deano, clearly enjoying his time there as he decides to be the main leader in this hill. Looks like hill number 2 goes in favor of Mindfreak. Very cool, calm and collected. Deano appears to be there on his play cam. Yeah, I know. Did he even take really any damage while he was in that hill?
No, he just had so many of his boys watching his back. Now going out, challenging. Adds with a very choice, lovely thrust there to take him down there. But now on the stairs, trying to apply some pressure here. Doesn't have a lot of help with him, being very cautious about that. Not pushing in too hard and giving away his life needlessly. Now Junior with those rockets, not able to translate on either of those. Adds in the plants, trying to stay alive. He does get called out. Benno with the cleanup. Team Immunity showing up a little bit here. Now Deano, bit of a whiff on that melee, but it doesn't matter. Able to secure the kill with the help of Ninjestics there. Dante shutting him down. And Immunity, they're picking up a little bit of the pace, but I think they need to go a little bit faster if they want to catch up.
Immunity definitely need to start matching the aggression that Mindfreak is laying down for them, as Mindfreak once again is 2 hill captures up over Immunity. Immunity unfortunately have a lot of ground to make up for if they want to be in this. Remember, there's not much time in a King of the Hill game. You have to be very wary of that clock ticking down, because if a team gets too many hills above you, you simply don't have the time to make it work. Yes, the clock stops when you're in the hill, but it's everything else that you have to consider during that hill time. You have to consider the spawns of your teammates if you go down, the rotations that you need to make, you know, the power-ups that you need to go for during that time as well. There's so many factors that come into this, and it just becomes to a point where you look at that clock and you're like, guys, we don't have enough time.
Yeah, the panic does set in. We talk about immunity being composed, but you know, when you're about to lose this series and the clock is counting down, you know, do they start desperating and going in one at a time, trying to grab themselves a hill, and does that play into Mindfreak's favor?
Benjy gets taken out Tyre's side as Dante looks to push Cones there. Unfortunately, gets taken out himself. Deano still remaining very cool, calm and collected in the hill once again as it ticks up to 3 in favor of Mindfreak. They have one more hill left to secure before they take this and take that little pool position away from Team Immunity.
Yeah, look, I mean, Deano, ice cold. Deadly,
Oh my God.
just going through, cleaning things up. Lovely double kill. Lots of hill time with that commander.
No!
And he, wow, Dante, to get that trade there. Unbelievable. But Ninjestics, he showed up, hasn't he? He's one of the top scorers for his team now.
Very good stuff coming out from Ninjestics. The 10 assists he has on the board. Junior with 11 as well, so he's certainly supplying the damage that his team to vie for that rocket power. Rocket's in the hands of Dante right now, going to need to make a decisive play as he whips one out, takes Benjy out on Crow's Nest, rips that red gun out of his hand as well. Dante fishing around. He can hear the player around garbage side. If you ping those bins, it actually says Oscar's house, which is a very nice reference there. As he whips another one out, and that's 2 rockets, you know, one of them connecting, the other one not quite. Mindfreak in control of the hill there, but there's still some push, there's still some fight left in Team Immunity.
There's always fight in Team Immunity. They never take their foot off the gas. They never give up. And we've seen them clutch up situations before, but Mindfreak looking incredibly strong. Their slays are good. Their objective time is really good. I mean, we always call to Deano to drop big numbers, but he seems to be on hill duty, and it looks very comfortable in there having a bit of relax.
4 members down for Mindfreak just get laid out. That gives Team Immunity plenty of space and time to work with as they need to make sure that they're paying attention to these spawns. It looks like members of Mindfreak on board with Deano here, spawning Arcade, looking ties to send some damage out, but there's not a lot of time that they have left in order to stop Team Immunity from capturing this hill. Will this be the difference maker? Team Immunity being able to put one hill on the board, will that be enough for them? Unfortunately, they get cleaned up a little bit there as 2 members of Team Immunity go down. There's not much time left for Team Immunity to make up.
Yeah, one hill is all you need sometimes to shift the momentum in your favor, but Mindfreak, they let go of control just for a little bit, but they're putting the squeeze back on. Now board with Junior, easy cleanup from him, does cop a grenade, respawn screen for him. Now with Deano finding ads, might be able to scoop both of those rockets. 2 to play with here, should be able to clear out these hills, no worries. And that trigger discipline from Deano, there's like, that play's dead, I don't need that. And he uses it to clean up. Lovely double kill from Deano, that's some rocket efficiency, Bluey.
Fantastic stuff. A nice clean little play from our boy Deano at the end there, just making sure that it was done decisively and securing themselves a nice little spot one step further. Day 1 here for Mindfreak. Definitely a better performance than what we saw them come into the day earlier on. That being said, I feel like they just had a better understanding of the objective game types that were thrown their way. They definitely played a lot more calmer, a lot more cooler, didn't crack under the pressure. It's very unfortunate for Team Immunity though. I think all of us collectively just expected them to really show out here, and they just didn't have it in them.
Yeah, not today. Maybe tomorrow. There's still a few days
Absolutely.
left, and you can never count Team Immunity out. They're always there. They can always show up. Just like they did in the Super, they kind of brought it to the young guys, but Mindfreak looking incredibly strong.
As always, definitely some strong boys right there from the members of Mindfreak. God, look at Deano, man. I can't, you know, we say it enough, but he's just a carry. He's an
Come on,
all-round
Blue,
carry.
you're blushing, mate.
I'm sorry, I'm drooling a bit.
And when you're blushing, without the hair, your whole head goes red.
Carries you in the game, carries you in real life, you know, he's just, man, oh man. Again, just star-studded performance from these boys. Super excited to see how they performed. You know, there was something that we all sort of discussed, especially in our predictions, that we just expected a lot from this roster, how they performed previously. We knew that they were going to come out strong, that they were going to show face, and, you know, LAN just seems to be the environment for them.
Absolutely, it is. And I mean, good environments. I mean, Father Benjy, he must love Streets because he clean sweep through that 22 kills, 13 deaths, and 8 assists, and a triple kill to boot. He was certainly turning up.
A triple kill in the backpack, but it's nothing, it's nothing Benjy isn't used to. We see him pull off that kind of stuff all the time. He's as we said before.
If anything, man's just be like, come on, mate, couldn't get the overkill, come on.
Where's the over? Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. Well, a disappointment once again.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Don't bother putting that clip. It's not good enough.
Good stuff from him overall. We love to see it. There's a confidence. I can feel it emanating from the guys over on Mindfreak right now. It's fantastic stuff from them, that they're building it. I can feel it. This is only day one. They have 2 more days ahead of them, potentially. There's so much more gas that they have left in the tank, and they've got so much fight in them. It's just fantastic to see. I can't gush enough.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping things would be a little bit tighter in that situation, but all credit to Mindfreak, and now I can kind of see why people may be a little bit dirty about some of the predictions that were getting thrown around about Mindfreak's performance, and obviously they've been putting in the hours. I mean, maybe you could look to Junior and Mantis about that. I mean, when it's practice time, there's no nonsense. You get on the scrim, you're there to scrim.